Good afternoon, Pottervision listeners. How are you? This is episode 112 of the Pottervision podcast. Wow, I'm doing an intro. Not done one of these in a while. Couldn't be bothered! But yeah, this is a great episode. I had a right laugh listening to it. Just so you know, if you're enjoying the podcast, please leave us a review, tell your friends, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Pottervision. That'd be a massive help. Also, if you want to see old Tommy Laurie, me, Tom Lawrenson, do stand-up in Brighton in May, on the 19th, 20th or 21st of May, you can. Go to my Instagram page, Tom Lawrenson. The link is in my bio. I'm coming to Brighton to do stand-up. It's going to be sick. Anyway, here's me rambling on. This is the Pottervision podcast.
Pottervision, Pottervision, Pottervision.
Hallo, hallo, hallo und willkommen beim Pottervision Podcast, dem Podcast, in dem ich, Lukas Kirkby und mein Freund, mein Kollegin Tom Lawrenson über die Harry Potter Bücher und andere Dinge diskutieren. Heute, wir sind bei Folge 112, Kapitel 17 oder Harry Potter und the Order of the Phoenix. Educational Decree number 24. Tom, wie geht es dir?
Yes, that's German that boy's speaking, but he's not German. He's a little Welsh boy.
I had you fooled, didn't I, listeners? You thought I was a German man.
Je suis la fille. Je suis le garçon. Yes, that's French those children are speaking, but those children aren't French. They're British.
Hey, bloody hell.
Remember that? Do you know what I'm on about?
No, I don't have a clue what you're on about.
There used to be this advert for this video where little kids could learn a foreign language, and it was called Muzzy. And on it, there was two kids on the advert that went, Je suis la fille. Je suis le garçon. And then a woman goes, yes, that's French they're speaking, but those children aren't French. They're British. And there's me watching it. There's me at home like this. Oh, I thought they were French. Oh!
I am the boy.
I am the girl.
We're French, yeah? If you walk down a Parisian road, you'll hear many children say that to each other. But yeah, wie geht es dir translates to how are you? I want to know how you are, what you're up to.
I'm alright.
That's good.
How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very much looking forward to listening to you eat that cereal bar and slurp your drink on the podcast when it's released.
That's what people tune in for.
Yeah, people tuning in for you chewing in. Yeah, I'm alright. I've been doing my lessons. It's the last week of the Easter holidays. So I'm still doing my German lessons. I've had 3 lessons this morning. And I had 5 lessons yesterday. I'm trying to use up all my credits before I can delete my accounts, because I'm doing my course at work essentially from next Monday. So I've got about 10 more lessons to go, and yeah, I'm quite enjoying getting back into it, learning a bit of the old lingo. It's very good.
You make me laugh so much, right? Because how often do you get time off work? Rarely.
Yeah.
And how is he using this time off work? Oh, he's making sure his money hasn't been wasted. I've saved £10 by using them all up. Oh, that was a good summer holiday. Well done.
Well, it's a fair bit of money that's I've invested, and then I just had a big break, and they all racked up.
How much is one lesson worth?
Well, if you bought one lesson on its own, it's like €12. But if you buy,
You didn't.
What?
How much was it? So how much was the package, and then divide them by how many you got?
Well, I think I paid something like, I don't even know. I think it worked out to be about half that, €7 a lesson, maybe. Because you buy like a, I don't know, 10 a month or something. Yeah.
Well, what a fun Easter holiday you've had.
Yahoo! Well, Martina's in uni today, so it makes sense that I'm,
Martina going to Martina going, oh, Lukas, would you like to go to the seaside with me? You're like, I can't. I'm learning German. And she's like, well, if you came out with me, you could speak to actual German people. No, Martina, you don't understand. This is costing me £6. Okay.
He's right. Yeah. I'm going to cancel all the lessons I've got booked in. I'm going to go to the beach, which from the middle of Germany is probably about 7-hour drive, I reckon.
Yeah. Go to that. Go to the beach in France, where I pissed in a trench.
Yeah, Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Well, not Dunkirk. That sounds Scottish, doesn't it? Where is Dunkirk? I'm very ignorant, actually, that I don't know that.
I think it is France.
Is it? I'm going to Google it now, because I feel very stupid that I don't know where that is. Google Dunkirk. Where is it? Not the film. I want the place. Dunkirk place. Where is it?
Go on, Matt.
It's in France. Yes! I am not a fool. Oh, that's good. Maybe I'm getting it confused with Dunblane, where those people got shot in Scotland, the school shooting. Anyway, don't bring that up in the Pottervision podcast, Tom. It's not nice.
Let me tell you something. So, I was in a pub in Edinburgh once, right?
Yeah.
And some local blokes wanted to buy everyone drinks. It's
Well, that's nice, yeah.
Let them. If they want to be generous, buy everyone drinks. Let them do so. But in exchange for the drink, you had to give back some conversation.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's
still, it doesn't sound
always
such a good deal, does it?
There's always a catch in there. There's always a bloody catch. What? I can't just take this and walk off. I have to talk to you. That. What a horrible little giver you are. Starts talking to this bloke, and he's like, yeah. He's like, starts talking about pie for some reason. He goes, the nicest pie I've ever had is in a little village called Dunblane. And I was like, okay. And he goes, where, unfortunately, a lot of children lost their lives. Cheers.
Right, if this is the cost of a free drink, I don't want a free drink. I'm happily paying £4.50 for a pint. I don't want you bringing up atrocities on a Saturday night in Edinburgh. Bloody hell. Hey, free pies for everyone. And a chat about 9/11. We're alright, thanks.
Sounds like a Pottervision show.
It does, doesn't it? Bloody hell. There's an idea for Pottervision again.
Money.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm throwing away the pounds, and Lukas Kirkby, he's picking up the pennies.
Yeah.
He's picking up the pennies. I'm throwing away the pounds. He's picking up the pennies.
Yeah.
I'm paying for like 4 Patreons I don't listen to. And if you're paying for our Patreon that you don't listen to, don't listen to what I'm saying right now. Well, actually continue, because I pay for like 3 other Patreons. I don't even listen to them anymore. And I'm like, I keep meaning to cancel that. And I'm like, but don't you be cancelling our Patreon. You keep paying, so I can keep paying for these Patreons I don't listen to. It's a pyramid scheme. We all pay for Patreons we don't listen to.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's costing.
And you're supporting each other.
That costing me about £15 a month.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Yeah. Bloody hell. What could you get £15 a month? That could be like a phone contract, couldn't it?
Whereas you're using all your free time to make sure you don't lose a bit of money on these German lessons.
Exactly, yeah. I'm saving the pennies where I can. Because at the minute, I've still not sold me bloody house. I'm trying to sell the house in Manchester.
Bit of advice?
Yeah.
Sell it.
Sell it?
Just sell the whole thing. Just sell it.
Yeah, well, that's what... Why didn't I think of that when I'm trying to sell it? I should just sold it. But no, I'm too busy trying to sell it. So I've got like mortgage going out there and bills going out over there, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, really. So if anyone wants to buy a house in North Manchester, let me know. It's never had any problems with mold. Let me say that on the record. None at all.
It's funny. It is funny with houses and stuff, because I think of the problems my house has got, and sometimes I think, do you know what? I think I'm about ready just to walk away from this. I'd be like, you know what, bank? Keep the deposit, do what you want, have all the money we've paid on it. I'm going to go live under a bridge. Also, perhaps I've been being a bit too depressing on this podcast, because one listener sent me an inspirational quote in the form of like a Facebook post that was like, chin up, not all is bad. And I was like, am I getting this?
I keep saying this. Everyone keeps messaging you. Nobody messages me about anything. I don't get inspirational quotes directly to my inbox.
You're Mr. Cheery. You're Mr. Happy.
I'm Mr. Happy, right? All the positive Mr. Men. That's who I am. Mr. Cheerful, Mr. Happy, and Mr. Perfect. Well, not Mr. Perfect, but Mr. Glad.
I'm all the bad ones. Mr. Bump. Mr.
Grumpy.
Mr. Messy. Mr. Grumpy. Tickle.
Yeah. Mr. Tickle, somebody get that guy's laptop. Yeah? He is a pervert, sticking his long hands through windows and tickling unsuspecting victims.
I had a meeting with Mr. Tickle. There was like a meet and greet. And I said, Mr. Tickle, please can I have a hug? And he gave me a hug, and then he said, now will you suck my tongue? I was like, what's this exchange, Mr. Tickle? Have you been hanging out with the Dalai Lama? Have you,
It's
Mr.
the
Tickle?
Dalai Tickle. Right, it's the Dalai Tickle. Hey, but we should get the police involved, and then he will experience the long arm of the law. Oh, we've gone right off this conversation now.
Thank you. This has been the Pottervision podcast. When people put in shit jokes, unfortunately, the podcast has to end. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye!
No! Just released that 11-minute episode. Oh, well, I couldn't resist, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you ever play Crash Bandicoot?
What, sorry?
Did you ever play Crash Bandicoot?
Yes, I loved those games as a kid, and I've recently played the remakes.
There is a boss in those games that is you incarnate. It's I think it's like a dingo, or is he the one in a straitjacket who's like jumping around?
Jumping around, yeah.
That is you trying your best not to do a daft joke.
Yeah. Well, are you thinking about Dingo Dial, the Australian one? He's got the gun and he's like that, a dingo.
I haven't played it.
Dial.
I ordered a new video game. I think you told me to. I ordered a Naruto video game for my PS4.
No, I didn't tell you to do that. You told me that you'd been watching Naruto and I listened. I didn't tell you to buy no Naruto game. You just maybe thought I was interested that you were watching Naruto. And then thought, maybe I'll buy a game on the back of that.
Well, I've gone out and bought a Naruto game.
Yeah.
It's alright.
Very good.
You can kill games, just your mind just sinks into nothing. And you're just playing a game. You're just like passing time. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Is it a bad thing to play? Maybe I should get that Hogwarts game. Maybe that'd be a bit more interesting.
Yeah, well, I think we should do a playthrough on the Patreon. Us having a go on the old game. Yeah, or maybe play one of the old games, like the PlayStation 1 Philosopher's Stone game. Have a go at that.
You seem to forget you live in a different country to me, so I don't know how we're going to orchestrate that.
I'll have a telescope and comment on how you're doing.
Any more updates with Oktoberfest?
I don't know. I think we still want to do it. That would be great, wouldn't it? Us in Oktoberfest, which surprisingly happens in September. So I've no idea why it's called Oktoberfest, but it always happens in September, apparently.
Exactly. I've had this conversation with people before where, well, I think maybe it's like getting ready for October. October's coming. Like, with people where Germans have always said, oh yeah, a lot of Brits come over in October thinking it's Oktoberfest, but it's over.
Yeah.
And I've even known British people going, oh, I'm going to Germany for Oktoberfest in October, and I've said, oh, I think it's over then, and they go, no, it isn't. I go, fine.
Oktoberfest is shit. There wasn't anybody there. There were no marquees. There was no extra bars. Nobody was singing. No bands playing.
Ooh, will you dress up as Air Bean if it all gets orchestrated?
I'm going to be dressing up as Herr Cogbig. Yeah, it's going to be me. But you are supposed to put lederhosen on, so I might stick me lederhosen on that I had for my stag do. Yeah, I don't know about the bean jacket, but I suppose in September it might not be so warm as July or whenever we went on stag do. Yeah.
Bean. That's fun.
Hey, guess what I opened and had a play with yesterday?
Can of worms.
Not a can of worms. My Christmas present from you.
Yeah, you and Martine, have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, we've been having a go. It's a karaoke microphone. Yeah. Have you got one of these? Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't play. I've not got anything to Bluetooth, but you can hear the effect.
The Bluetooth line in. The radio model. The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Right, anyway, but you can talk into it like that, and then you can also, it has a remix effect where you can have an echo, and you can talk like that. Do you like that, listeners?
You can sound like a little girl, can't you?
Hey, I didn't know you. How'd you sound like a little girl?
Press that button again. This is my microphone. Hello? Hey, I'm the little girl!
How did you do that?
Hold down record.
The chord? A record?
Record.
Hello? Ooh. I sound like I'm from space.
He sounds like he's from space.
Hello. Welcome to the Pottervision podcast.
We are the Pottervision boys. And you sound like a different little goblin boy.
We hope you're enjoying this, listeners.
I am an old man. I am an old man. Is this good quality podcasting?
Do you like this, listeners? Does this even come out properly? Oh, that's better. Look at that, directly into the microphone. Can you understand
But this is good, because now when Martina comes home, you can hide and pretend there's a little girl in the flat.
Oh, that'll be great. She'll love that.
Be nice. But have you like gone on YouTube and put in like a karaoke song and sang along to it?
Yeah, we've tried a few things. I sang Halo yesterday, and then she sang. I can't remember. I've forgotten now. Oh, was it Baby Adele?
I think she's got a Mac.
Hey!
That's such a you joke.
And the podcast is now finished. Right, that's enough of that. I'm sure you're fed up with that.
But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
This weekend was a cause for celebration.
Yeah. Why? What has gone on?
Lucy Did the Manchester Marathon.
Hey, that's amazing.
26.2 miles. She did it. Me, Holly and Lewis went down to support her. It was fantastic. Yeah. Amazing
Bloody
achievement.
hell. Well
Very
done,
proud of
Lucy.
her.
Yeah, amazing. Had she done one before? Was that her first one?
First one, yeah.
Bloody hell. Well, without any pissing around, that is fantastic. Well done, Lucy.
Guess who I saw there?
Oh, I don't know. David Williams.
Katie Hopkins.
Hey, it's Katie Hopkins. Fantastic. Did you say hello?
No, but I saw her face and I was like, oh, look, it's Katie Hopkins.
Oh, well done. Thank you for your service. Was she running or was she just hanging about?
Yeah, she's doing the marathon.
Bloody hell, you'd want to beat her, wouldn't you? I don't want to lose to someone with big views.
Just big views. Oh, come on. Her YouTube channel gets 100,000 views per video. She gets the views.
I mean, her views in her head. What she believes. Yeah. Bloody hell, well done. And I imagine she was quite tired at the end, am I right?
Yeah, immensely tired. We got a taxi back home and we ordered a Domino's pizza.
Hey.
Yeah, but it takes it out of you, marathon. It takes it out of you.
Yeah, well, I'd imagine. Yeah. Oof. Blooming heck. Did she do what loads of marathon runners do and like take a bottle of water and pour it all over her head and then keep running?
She was pouring it over other people's heads. I don't think they were happy about her.
Hey! Yeah. Hey, well, that's fantastic. I'm a bit annoyed because that slightly eclipses my 3 kilometres that I once did for Sport Relief. But yeah,
Only slightly.
Just about, eh? That's really cool. I, on the other hand, speaking of sports, has been watching the snooker, and there was some controversy yesterday. Did you hear about this?
I think so. So the Stop Oil people stood on a table and dumped something on there, did they?
Yeah, they ran on, jumped on the table, and threw orange powder up in the air. And then on the other side, on the other side, someone was trying to glue themselves to the table, but they managed to peel her off before she got stuck. But yeah, bloody hell, at the snooker of all things. And disrupted play, and that table wasn't playable anymore because it had orange powder all over it.
What's your opinion of it?
My opinion is, yeah, oil is bad for the environment, but don't be ruining the snooker about it, yeah? I have it on good authority that the snooker is a carbon neutral organisation, or they make carbon neutral programmes at least. So, but they want a platform, don't they? But you could have easily just like thrown powder in the, on the carpet. Why did it have to be on the table?
They could have easily thrown powder on the spectators.
Yeah, exactly. Or like dumped it on a player's head or something. That'd have been funny. Rather than ruining a perfectly good snooker table. It costs a lot of money to recloth a table.
I think... well, the thing is, you're an idiot.
Thank you.
Because that does not matter.
What, snooker?
Like, look at it this way. Imagine you're inside a burning building, yeah?
Yeah.
And someone on the outside wants to notify you all that the building is burning down. And they do so by smashing the window and going, "You're in a burning building!" And that's like everyone on the inside going, "Well, there's no need to be smashing a window."
No, that is like the window being open already and somebody smashing the window. Why not just shout through the window? And then you've not broken a window then, have you?
because then no one will be talking about it. If someone had shouted through a window, me and you wouldn't be on a podcast discussing how important it is, to not be ruining the environment through oil.
Believe me, Tom, if someone had run into the snooker and put orange powder on a player's head, I would definitely have brought it up.
I think you are pro-oil.
I'm not pro-oil.
I think you're a gasoline head. You're a petrol head.
What can I say?
Apparently, when you were born,
No.
your first words were "Dame la gasolina, me encanta la gasolina."
Yeah, they were actually. How did you know that?
And you think I'm joking, but I've got some evidence here. I was in a supermarket with you, and there was a load of, like, say, I don't know, I think it was like apple, like apples in like plastic wrapping or whatever. And you looked at it and you went, why does that need to be plastic wrapped? I hate all that. Do you know, like unnecessary plastic wrapping.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought to myself, this guy hates oil. Yeah, he's anti like unnecessary like plastic use. Every time you used to come to my house for the podcast, you would use the bin afterwards, but instead of using the recycling bin, you would put everything into the black bin.
I have no idea what you're on about, like a McDonald's bag or something.
Yeah, you don't care about recycling. I thought, he must hate like plastic use and like love recycling, but you'd put everything in the black bin, like just general waste. Oh, that's general waste.
Hey, I don't know what to say about this. I feel like my character is coming under assassination. I recycle at home, and I don't know. Yeah, but surely a McDonald's bag, that is waste, isn't it? What is that then?
Paper recycling.
It's got food in it, hasn't it? Bits of
No,
chip.
it didn't. Not if me and you are involved, there's no food going in that bin.
Well, I can only hold my hands up and apologise and say that I will try every day to be better in every way. Yeah?
But what that led me to believe is that you are pro-snooker and pro-oil.
Well, I'm pro-snooker, definitely. Pro-oil, no. I think, we should have better ways to, provide energy and, move around.
And there might be people on the podcast going, Tom, listening, going, Tom, I swear there's been episodes where you have discussed how you are anti-recycling, and that may well be. I do not like recycling. I believe it is giving myself an extra job. I'm working for the council for free. But why don't I ever see any of the money? Because they must sell that recycling. This bottle is made from 100% recycled materials. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get the materials from? Muggins here. Let's see some of the cash back. I want some of the revenue.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Because when I was putting that McDonald's bag in the black bin, you were applauding me at the door. You tell them. Oh, I will. Yeah, bloody hell. So, but, protest all you like, but do it through the right channels, yeah?
No!
Not via the snooker. Go do, boxing or football. Don't
You're
come into the Crucible in Sheffield.
You're part of the ignorant, masses who are like, there's a time and place for protesting. The time is during the night when everyone's asleep. The place is somewhere no one knows about. Do it in your own bed.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. You want lots of people viewing it, but snooker's not the most viewed sport, is it? They could be doing something else, another sport.
I want everyone to protest. Right? Arms folded, fingers on lips. That's how you do your protest.
Yeah.
What was that in primary school about? Right, cross your arms, fingers on lips. And then you get one little cunt like this.
Yeah.
Most people just be lazily like that.
Yeah. But as if that, you can do that and still talk. I don't get how that's supposed to stop you talking. Because you got your finger on your mouth.
cross-legged in a big hall. Cross-legged. You got some kid's muddy shoe on your knee. Am I an animal? Am I an animal?
He's right, yeah. And, it takes the effort out of the hymns because people are annoyed about muddy shoes. Now, Tom, are you ready for Chapter 17 rundown?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Chapter 17, Educational Decree number 24. Right? Harry wakes up feeling good. Right? He's got sunshine in a bag. Right? He's walking around feeling good until he sees the Gryffindor notice board, and it's got an educational decree on it, number 24, that says anyone who wants to start a club has to run it past Professor Umbridge. He's like, bloody hell, she must know about our secret defence against the dark arts lessons, right? Everybody's kicking off about it. It means Quidditch might not be allowed to happen. Everyone's up in arms, right? In the meantime, Hedwig has been attacked and has got a dodgy wing, so is taken to Professor Grubbly Plank. And people are still getting observed. Snape is observed by Umbridge. And it's all a big barrel of laughs. Next thing, Sirius is there in the fire again, having a chat, saying, we know what you're doing, I think it's great. Mrs. Weasley doesn't think it's great. But I say, crack on with your club. And just as he's about to finish talking, a hand tries to grab him, and it's Umbridge's hand in the fire. And that is the end of Educational Decree number 24. What a chapter, eh? Do you agree?
Hell yeah. This has got to be my favourite chapter I've ever read.
Boring, wasn't it?
Oh, I loved it. What are you talking about? It was so much fun.
All right, well, what was fun about it? What did you like?
Well, start off. All groups are disbanded, right? Had me thinking, I hope this means Quidditch. I think...
Yeah.
Oh, if I could take one thing out of the Harry Potter books, it wouldn't be, the fat phobia. It wouldn't be making fun of people's looks. It wouldn't be all the judgmental stuff. It wouldn't be how the word coolly comes up every chapter. It would be the Quidditch. Get rid of it.
Well, I was thinking that because I wrote down somewhere that there's like more emphasis on Quidditch again this book, and I was like, I thought we'd got over this. Last book it was like, right, Quidditch World Cup, and then that's your lot. And this time it's like every chapter, ooh, Quidditch practice might be cancelled. Ooh, Harry, don't be late for Quidditch. I couldn't give a shit about Harry's sports club. Rip those pages out. Look how fucking fat this book is. Do we need it? I don't think so. Get rid. Boring, eh? Why don't we have another lesson described?
Listen, when J.K. Rowling started writing these books, I wish he'd taken into consideration that a couple of boys known only as the Pottervision boys would want to be dissecting this as a podcast, right? And she's drawing it out longer than it needs to be. Yeah.
Come on. We're having to do 199 episodes here. And one of them's about this.
We're only on 111, 112.
Oof. Yeah. So, listeners, the countdown starts now. You've got 87 episodes left. And God forbid we decide to do more after that. Oh. Who bloody knows, eh?
And after that, what are you going to do after it ends? What are you going to do after it ends? Goosebumps. That's what we're going to do.
Not book by book. I know they're small books, but we'll be doing chapter by chapter Goosebumps.
What are you going to do after Goosebumps? Shivers.
Yeah? We're going to be doing the Mr. Men books, Chronicles of Narnia, the lot. Yeah? You wait till you're here 5 years later listening to us talk about a horse and his boy. Hey, it's going to be great.
And then what are we going to do after that? The Bible. Okay?
Yeah? Hello, and welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every week myself, Lukas, Kirkby, and my friend and colleague Tom talk about the Bible. This week we're on episode 514. It's Genesis, chapter 3, verse 2. Snake. Tom, how are you?
Did you say Snape or Snake?
Went to pick me pension up. Snake.
Yeah, I don't like this. People messaging in, oh, they have a go at Eve too much for eating that apple. No, we don't.
Hey lads, what are you going to do after Genesis? We'll be dead by the time we finish Genesis. Oh, you're not going to do Revelations? No.
Right. Noah's Ark. What was going on there?
Yeah, come on. Two of every animal. What if they didn't fancy each other? Eh? Do you know how hard it is to get two pandas to have sex? They need a bit of choice. Anyway. This has been...
That'd be funny. Me and you. Do you think you'd have eaten the apple out of the forbidden fruit? Would you have eaten it, Lucas? You. I wouldn't have eaten it. I would have listened to God's orders, and he would have said, don't eat the apple. And if someone suggested it, I'd be like, right, you do what you want, but I'm not going to have any. I won't be tempted. How about you?
How many Cain's murdering Abels out of 5 are you going to give this chapter, eh? I'm giving this chapter 5 prodigal sons out of 5.
Right, should we do the Bible for double vision?
Yeah, we're doing we're reading the whole Bible, and because it's quite a lot, we'll split it into 2 episodes. Old Testament and New Testament. Right,
Goblet of Fire film gets split into 4 episodes. We do the Bible in 2.
Hey, and we're not stopping there. The Quran, the Torah. We're going to go through the lots. So look forward to it. Yeah.
How about
Very good.
where Jesus set fire to a bush because it didn't have any fruit on it?
Bloody hell. I thought you said a bus. I was like, I don't remember that.
He set fire to a bush because it didn't have any fruit on it. But it wasn't the season for fruit, so I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, bloody hell. He set fire to a bush. Come summer, it's not going to grow anything now, is it?
Been reading
Anyway,
the
who are we to
secret.
question the Lord?
I've been reading The Secret Garden, and what it has led me to believe that all people are just a product of their environment. This little girl comes in to this house in Yorkshire, and they're all like, oh, aren't you that horrible little girl? It's like, well, no one showed her a bit of love in her life. How do you expect her to be anything but nice? I'm thinking about you, you know. People going, oh, isn't it that silly man? He's only ever had silliness in his life. How do you expect him to have anything different?
Exactly. Right. It's nature versus nurture. I think it's about 50-50, honestly. I think you are born inherently with some personality traits, but of course your surroundings mould who you are as a person. Of course they do.
You think you're 50% silly by nature?
I think so. And 50% of it's been encouraged. My dad's silly, my mum's silly. Lots of other family members are silly. My friends were silly at school.
My dad's mummy, my dad's silly, my mum's silly. Bit of a nasty shock when he found out. Who?
What? So I'm silly too. Right, that is not a story. Dad's a wizard, Mum's a witch, I'm magic too. Yeah, most of us are like that. Most of us have witch and wizard parents.
And also, isn't Harry Potter and Mudblood as well?
Yes, well, I suppose both of his parents were magic, but then Lily Potter's family were muggles, weren't they?
So Lily Potter's a Mudblood, so that makes Harry half Mudblood.
The half Mudblood prince. I think so, yeah. Well, quarter blood, I don't know. But yeah, I suppose you're not pure, are you? I suppose if you've got any non-wizarding family members, you're a Mudblood, aren't you? I don't know. Anyway, I don't like swearing, saying this dirty word. It's the worst word you could say to somebody.
It's not the worst word.
There's nothing worse than Mudblood, yeah? And I've heard some bad words in my time.
Would you rather someone call you a Mudblood or a Gimp?
I wouldn't mind somebody calling me a gimp. I want to know why. I think that would intrigue me. What makes you think I'm a gimp?
I think you'd be laughing before you even turned around. If you were walking out your building and you heard a voice go, "Oi, gimp!" you'd go,
especially in Germany as well. Hey, gimp! So, who's this? Oh, I'd love that. Can someone make that happen? That'd be my make a wish. They'd be like, right, you're not very poorly. We can do something really special for you. Would you like to meet anybody famous? Right. I just want to be unsuspectedly called a gimp in the street. Can you do that for me, Make a Wish? Yeah, do you want it to be a celebrity? No. Anyone you like. Don't bother ringing up Channing Tatum. Just have somebody random do it.
It's wild that your mind went to Channing Tatum.
I've no idea. I was trying to think of Ryan Reynolds, but then I couldn't get it out quick enough, and it went to Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. 2 fake names. Channing. That's not a name. Tatum. No. The word is totem. Totem pole. And that's a Native American thing. Don't culturally appropriate things.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. Yeah.
What would his name be in English? Channing. There's not an English name, Channing.
Charlie or something, yeah.
Charles Tate. Charlie Tate. There you go.
Charlie Tate. Sounds like an old gangster. Now, they're on about Quidditch, right? And Harry is like, hey, we're going to try the new move. It's called a sloth grip roll, right? Right, the thing that's pissing me off about Quidditch, right, is there's always new moves and new strategies, right? It's a 500-year-old sport. There aren't any new ways of flying a broom. Everyone's done it. It's like, hey, there's a new football move called the wazzle. It's like, what is that? You kick it with a bit of spin. No, that's been there for years. You can't come up with a new move. I don't think Quidditch.
It's like me coming up with a new... Oh, I've got a new maths equation.
Yeah, go on, what have you got?
You know there's all these plus, divide, multiply?
Yeah.
I've got another one.
Yeah.
It's distaste. It's when certain numbers have distaste for the other one based on no logic.
Hey, I like that. Number without logic. Hey, but it's fascinating the kind of operations that exist in the mathematical world. The kind of numbers that you can get. You can get happy numbers. There's the golden ratio. Very exciting stuff. Prime numbers are very interesting as well. But anyway, we don't want to get you too interested in all that stuff. We've got to talk about boring old Harry Potter, eh?
Hedwig has been beaten black and blue.
Yeah.
Possibly intercepted. Possibly he's had a night on the lash.
I think so. He's been out on the town, had too few many bevies, and he's fallen over and had an accident.
Thing is, owls get hurt all the time.
Yeah. They fly into shit, don't they?
Don't worry about it, Harry. He's like, I need to get Hedwig cured. There's no cure, right? Give him a shower, pack a Monster Munch, it'll be alright.
Yeah, he'll be absolutely fine. Yeah, but then someone, Lavender goes, I think Hedwig's beautiful. And we've not mentioned this on the pod, but I agree. Hedwig is a gorgeous owl. Sexy. Yeah? Unlike that minger Errol, Hedwig is a beautiful bird. Do you agree?
No, birds are birds. How can one Quidditch team be banned when others are not?
Yeah, that is a joke. That is worth complaining about. Because she's like, I need time to think about Gryffindor, whether they can play. You gave Slytherin permission to be a team instantly, right? Anyway, I thought she was just against everything. I didn't get the impression that she was a Slytherin supporter in any way.
The thing is, right, if I was on the Gryffindor team, I wouldn't even bother reapplying. Because the winning doesn't matter at this point. If anything, it makes such a bigger statement if Gryffindor aren't playing. than anything else. Because then the whole school would know something's off if Slytherin is the only Quidditch team.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be funny. And then they don't have anyone to play against.
Yeah.
Practicing for nothing. Hey, that's a great idea. And as well, because Umbridge has made this stupid rule that everyone who wants a club has to apply for one, I would wind her up and get everybody to book an appointment with her and waste so much of her time with bog snorkeling and crochet and conversational Chinese that she'd end up having to completely bring back the rule before.
What is the Gobstones Club?
I assume they just play gobstones.
What is Gobstones?
Gobstones is very much like marbles, where you throw marbles at each other's marbles and try and knock them out of a circle. But gobstones are magic because gobstones are smelly. Yeah? They smell like shit.
Fascinating stuff.
Yeah. Isn't that good? So, yeah, Hedwig is poorly wing, right? Bashed up. So he takes her to the staff room to try and find Professor Grubbly Plank, right? And there are two gargoyles at the entrance to the staff room. And Stephen Fry makes one of them sound very much like Kenneth Williams from the Carry On series. He's like, no, is it an emergency? Is it? Oh my goodness me. Better go in then. It's very funny.
To some people, yeah, it is very funny.
Well, they go the whole hog and have Fatty Jake, Sid James, all the gargoyles in Stephen Fry's crazy world.
But then, right, Malfoy turns up and he's bragging. He's bragging and gloating and he's being rude. Neville tries to kill him.
Yeah, well, because Neville's parents are in St. Mungo's.
Mundungos. Forgot about that, yeah. I just thought Neville was on one.
No. And then, of course, Malfoy was bad-mouthing St. Mungo's, and so Neville went to try and attack Malfoy, punch his block off. Yeah. But I like that we're seeing a lot of different sides to people in this book, which I like. We're seeing a bit more feistiness from Neville. We're also seeing McGonagall become a bit more of an ally to Harry Potter. She gives him a bit of a warning about sending letters with Hedwig and things being intercepted and stuff. So it's nice to see some of these 2D characters become a bit more three-dimensional and have a bit more to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, good. And of course, Neville, we see more of his bravery and defiance in Book 7, so it's nice to see a bit of a hint of that in Book 5.
Oh. And as Tom Felton describes Neville in his autobiography, Neville is sexy.
Neville gets sexier with every film.
To the
and if
point...
you want to hear us talk about that, you can follow us on Patreon and listen to our two-parter on Tom Felton's memoirs, the second part coming out next Monday.
Very good. And some people have been kicking off about my comments on the shape of a certain person's head.
Yes, and if you'd like to see that complaint, you can look at our Discord if you support us on Patreon. Now, Trelawney has a lesson, Transfiguration, and she's obviously had the result of her inspection, and she's very annoyed about it. And, she might lose her job, who knows. But I was thinking, bloody hell, I think if Umbridge had come to my school, there would be at least 2 or 3 teachers that I do not think would still have worked there. This is the school I went to, by the way, as a kid, not the school I work at now. I'd like to make that clear. Did you have teachers at your school that you thought, bloody hell, how did they end up actually getting this job?
Well, the thing is, some teachers have never kept up on new ways of teaching. Yeah. So you'll get a supply teacher from the olden days sometimes, and you're like, what the hell? Like making you do weird things in high school. They're like, right, that's it, lines. You want lines?
Yeah.
I'm doing lines in high school. Not lines of cocaine writing the same line over and over again.
Right, boy, you go get some coal from the coal shed. What? Sir, we don't do that anymore.
Right,
Come
I
on,
want you
get your
to...
slates out.
Right, bang these board rubbers together. Well, it's not doing anything. There's no chalk on them, sir.
Yeah. There was a proper old school teacher that we used to get as a supply teacher, and he always used to do exam invigilations while I used to fall asleep reading the same book. Yeah, but I used to quite like stuff like that. It felt like a bit of a step into the past.
Yeah,
like how lessons used to be and what people would talk about. Do you remember that guy? We did a Welsh lesson once, and he just asked us all whereabouts we lived and like what hobbies we had. And we didn't actually do any of the work. He was just like, oh yeah, I know someone who lives near there. It's all right.
it's got to be interesting when you're a normal teacher and you set your work for the supply teachers to teach, and then you come back and none of it's been done. You're like, what the fuck were they doing then? Supply teachers coming in going, I'm not doing any of that. Right.
And then next week the teacher would be like, well, you've all started on the quadratic formula, haven't you? And we're like, the what? Guess we'll do it today then.
Nothing makes me laugh harder than that inflection on speech. Right then, do it myself then.
Oh, I guess we'll have to do it with me then. All this is for nothing.
You in Panto. We'll have to do it again then, won't we?
Whoa.
Woo.
And one thing that I was glad about was Umbridge walks into a Defence Against the Dark Arts lesson and she says, put your wands away. And finally, they've not already got them out, cocked and loaded. They're learning that they're not coming in with a wand ready to do magic like this. Or like Cedric Diggory holding it like a gun, ready to spell someone. Yeah, they've learnt. I want to see, like, these... So Fred and George finally put together and succeed in making their skiving snack box, right? And I think they'd be really popular in a school. What do you reckon?
Skiving snack box. Would that be really popular? Yeah. My mind always glazes over when Fred and George come up. I'm like, shut up. To be honest, I think my mind glazes over when a lot of these characters come up. I'm like, oh, fuck off. But I was thinking something really interesting. So Snape has been teaching for 14 years, correct?
Correct.
Harry Potter is how old?
Yeah, I was thinking that. He's about 15, yeah.
Harry Potter's 15. Lily Potter was in the same year as Snape, wasn't she?
Correct.
Correct. So Snape graduated Hogwarts and then went right into teaching.
I reckon he did it on graduation day. He took his hat off and walked straight to Dumbledore's office. He's like, right, I've completed school. Gives a job.
Job now? That's not how it works. You give Hagrid a job.
Oh. He's keeper of the bloody keys since he was 12. I'm 18 with all my A-levels.
So, imagine you're in year 9, yeah? And then you come into year 10. And you're like, right, who's doing potions this year? It's that lad who's a year older than you. What?
Eh? I know, it'd be bloody odd, that. Well, I remember sometimes when I was doing A-levels, it'd be like a trainee or something, and it would be like 20 or something like that, and you'd think, you could just be sat next to me. Like, it'd be very odd. And I remember I started tutoring at 18, like when I went to uni, and then sometimes I'd be teaching students that were 17, 18. I'd be like, I don't know, tutoring a mate. I suppose that's nice, an informal setting to be taught. I don't know. Isn't it mad to think that when Snape was in school, Hagrid must have already worked there 30 years. Yeah. And Snape was like 11 or 12. Be like, bloody hell, and now he still works here, does he? Yeah. Yeah, because he must be in his 60s now, Hagrid.
So that also must mean that Snape... Don't want to say it, but the listeners are expecting me to say it, so here it is. Snape is probably a virgin.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever had any slap and tickle with anybody. I think...
Because he's been holding a candle for Lily Potter, hasn't he?
Yeah. But then, she's been dead about 15 years. So, put yourself out on the market, Snape. Maybe go to some speed dating. Get yourself a dating profile on the internet.
The Hogwarts teacher is a celibate life, isn't it?
Yeah. You say that though, but I reckon some of them have had a bit of rumpy-pumpy with each other. They must have done. Dumbledore and McGonagall.
Dumbledore's gay.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what turned him.
This has been the Pottervision podcast. We will not be returning next week. One of your hosts has got a potty mouth.
I've got a potty mouth. The Potter mouth. Yeah, that's true. I forgot that Dumbledore was gay.
They were overheard in the Pog's head talking about starting a new secret club. Who started the secret club? Who told you? Who overheard us? Who overheard us? Sirius Black grinned from ear to ear. Oh, you want to know, dear? Beg me. They said, just tell us. He goes, fine. It was Mundungus Fletcher. They said, don't chat shit. He said, Mundungus Fletcher. Is it Mundungus Fletcher?
It is Mundungus Fletcher, yes.
Man's first name is Mundungus.
Yeah.
I put myself up for adoption. He was the witch under the veil.
Yeah.
Or the man under the veil, then.
The man under the veil it was. Yeah, bloody hell. It's a strange life, isn't it? Hiding in a pub, in a veil, listening to children. Is that what you've got me doing now? Dressing up like this? Hiding myself?
Wizard, witch. What is the gender neutral term for witch or wizard?
Don't know, maybe it's like magic person or...
Witham.
Yeah, a wizich or something, I don't know.
Wizich.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds a bit like Quidditch, doesn't it? A wizich. Yeah. Send us an email or message me privately if you have any ideas about that.
Which, emailing the Pottervision page is messaging Lukas privately.
Yeah.
They're
any
all one in the
contact
same.
to any Pottervision account is a private message to me. If it says from Tom and Lukas in an email, it's just from me. I just add Tom's name so it feels like we're together in a business. It's all part of the PR.
The only business I'm in is the business of misery.
And that will go on your headstone. Hey, I like Hermione's idea of an invisibility marquee. That sounds good. She's like, hey, we can't get to the Shrieking Shack with 20 of us. We need more than an invisibility cloak. We need an invisibility marquee. I think she's onto something there. If that can be put together, that'd be almost like a room of requirement, wouldn't it?
What day is it today?
It is Tuesday, the 18th of April, 2023.
If only there was more... I'd go into the room of requirement and ask for more time, please.
I don't think you can do that. You want the time turner. That's what you want. I think I'd go to the invisibility cloak and say, I'd like you to show me a reflection of my dead parents. No, that's the mirror of Erised you're after there.
It's all magic. It'll work.
It's all magic. What was the thing today?
I'm going to have had a cadaver. I'm going to have had a cadaver you with my broom.
I think today there was a bit where Hermione was like, nobody will have snitched on us because I jinxed the contract. If they signed it and then told on us, they would get blisters on their face. That is the most subtle and complicated piece of magic I've ever read about in these books. That is like beyond anything. The best we've had so far is like I can put a light on with my hands.
Put a light on with my hands.
Sweetie. And now Hermione's saying that someone can sign a contract and then the contract knows that they've told somebody about something and then somehow give them blisters on their face. That is like the most sophisticated piece of magic, I think, in the whole books.
And also, should be, that's a criminal offence, really. That's like battery or assault.
Yeah. It's like battery or assault. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like going, I've put laxative in my milk at work so no one can have any. Listen, you're not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed. Well, Hermione's done a lot of atrocities. Last year she turned Rita Skeeter into a bug and then kept her in a jar. I don't know if she's still in the jar. Terrible.
There's a bit in Draco Malfoy's book, right, where he talks about going up to Emma Watson and going, should we practice the slap from the next film? There's going to be a slap. You slap me in the next film. And he goes, then I tried to mansplain to her how it should be done. I was like, that stage slap where, like, you do it so it's close and the other person claps or something. Oh! Yeah. And he goes, I tried to mansplain to her... and it's like, and then, but mate, I don't think you were mansplaining because it sounds like she didn't know how to do a stage slap.
Yeah, because she actually slapped him.
Because she slapped him as hard as she could in his face, and he's like, it was all good fun. I'm like, sounds sad.
But anyway, we're not allowed to talk about that more because that episode is behind a paywall. If you want to know more about that, support us and listen to it there.
Yeah.
And then it finishes with, I really like this, I thought this should have been in the film. Sirius is talking to them in the fire and then he has to rush off and then next minute there's a hand in the fire trying to grab him and it's Umbridge's hand. I thought I'd love to have seen that in the movie.
I know, it's great because once she does grab him, then what? Who is that?
No, what would she do?
Who is this? Who's got eyelashes like those? That's a wet tongue.
Oh, he's got a kind face.
Is this a dog?
Oh. Yeah, because what is that? Could he actually be pulled out of the fire? What's the deal? How can he be tangible? Also, wouldn't she burn herself? Anyway, we're thinking about this too much. Yeah, we like the image of it. It's scary.
Oh.
Another thing that made me laugh was Sirius is like, hey, I've heard you've started an illegal defence group. It's like, excuse me, we're not calling it an illegal defence group. That sounds like a racist organisation. And we are definitely not doing that. We are the Magical Defence League. We don't want to be joining that, Harry Robinson.
Harry Robinson.
Yeah, bloody hell.
We are the community of cunning cunts. Well, don't do that.
No. Right, we're not doing that.
Spelt with all K's. No.
No, thank you. We're going to be like the Death Eaters, but instead of wearing black robes, we're going to wear... No, we're not doing that. We're going to be the Life Eaters. No. That's awful. And on that note, that's all my notes that I have.
Right. How many hands clawing through embers are you going to give this chapter out of 5?
It was boring. Guess we're going to have to do a podcast about this boring chapter then. Yeah? It was a bit Yawnsville. So, like this, about 4 pages, just Grubbly Plank talking to McGonagall in the staff room about nothing. A lot of guff about Hedwig. It was a bit boring, right? Basically, all you need to know is that Umbridge is now putting a ban on clubs, right? And it was 45 minutes on the audiobook. It wasn't the best, so I'm actually going to be scathing, and I'm going to give it 1 hand clutching through embers out of 5.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Ooh.
The Bluetooth device is connected
Looking
successfully.
forward to the quiz theme tune. How many are you giving it?
That's mad. It's connected to you.
I can't hear you now.
Well, for the listener, my Bluetooth mic is connected
I
to
cannot
my
hear
phone.
what you're saying. I think it's taken over your AirPods.
No.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look, it's flashing away. That's you.
Hey, fantastic. Hey, it's me. Oh, that's weird. I'm coming out of the microphone. Hey, you should hide that in your bed. And then I'll scare Lucy. Although you could do that with a mobile phone.
There you go, you're back. That was funny, that. This is weird, because I've never... Oh, I think I must have connected to my phone once before to do karaoke in bed.
Yeah. We've all done it. I must have connected that to my phone when I was doing karaoke in bed. Yeah. Oh, I must have done that before when I was putting beans in my shoe. As if it's the most normal thing in the world. I must have been before when I was making gravy sandwiches.
Now, for me, this chapter was a bit too long. It was a bit too wrong. It was a bit too depressing. It was a bit too demessing, right? A lot of bits going on. Nothing nice happened, and it got me down. However, was I glad I read it? Yeah, I was. I was very glad I read it. I think if I'd not read it, I wouldn't have had this chat with my mate today. When we started off today's call, before we started recording, I said to Lukas, he goes, how are you feeling? I go, shit, this one's going to be a shit one. But I have thoroughly enjoyed my time on this podcast today. If not for this chapter, I wouldn't have had a nice time. It's lifted my spirits. So I can give this chapter no less than 2 hands clawing through embers out of 5. If it hadn't been for the chapter, well, if it hadn't been for the good chat, it would have been a 0. Now, are you ready for a segment I call quiz?
Yes.
Hey there, quizzy boy, what are you doing? Everyone is looking at you, looking fine. You got all your clothes on, they're ready to come off. Everybody's looking at you, quizzy boy, baby. Yeah. Right. Question 1. What is Angelina's new Quidditch move?
It's something to do with a sloth. The sloth wrap maneuver.
No, it's the sloth grip roll. Question 2. How many inches was Professor Binns floating off his chair?
3.
1. Question 3. How long has Snape taught at Hogwarts?
14 years.
Correct. You're doing great so far. Question 4. What lesson does Harry intend on skiving off of?
Divination.
Correct. Question 5. What was Lee Jordan doing in this chapter?
He was magicking away the sick.
He was vanishing vomit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you 3 out of 5.
Thank you so much.
Quiz boy, you did so well. Everyone is proud of you, but you're still going to hell. Right. Now, do you want to do any segments?
Yes, it is now time for the nation's favourite segment. It's Hedwig's Droppings.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
We're not referring to owl poo, we're not alluding to droppings. We mean the messages you send in when we allude to Hedwig's Droppings. What's in a beak this week? Well, we've had a load of 5-star reviews that I've not checked on recently, so we've got 3 new reviews. The first one is from 09 Dan K 1991. And Dan says, Potter perfect. Having listened to the audiobooks dozens of times to the extent that I can't listen anymore, it's been great to listen to Pottervision. My girlfriend Sarah introduced me to this 2 weeks ago and I'm nearly on the 4th book. Excellent listening with friendly, familiar voices. So thank you very much, 09 Dan K 1991. Now we've had another review from Ewan Mack. And Ewan Mack says, amazing must watch. I started this show a few weeks ago and I'm already on book 3. This amazing, can't wait to come and watch your live show one day. Oh yeah, well we'll see you at some point, Ewan. And then we've had another 5-star review from a Canadian Pottervision fan called Ravenclaw Forever. And they said, calling out all Potterheads, this is the podcast for you. This is an amazing podcast and is so funny. Well, thank you very much, Ravenclaw Forever. Now, the only other bit of communication we've had this week is an email from Louise. And Louise asks, are there toilets in the common rooms or dorms in the houses because they can't be out at night? But what if they wake up in the middle of the night and have to piss or shit themselves? Where do they go?
I'm the authority on this. They open up a window. You lean your backside out the window. Your friends hold onto your hands, and you release.
Yeah. If you are unfortunate enough to arrive at Hogwarts late at night and look up, you will see many a moon in the sky. Yeah? Some of them will be teachers, some of them will be students doing a plop.
Come on.
Yeah. So we hope that's answered your question, Louise. My guess would be a chamber pot by every bed.
That's so funny. If it's a chamber pot, imagine that. Harry's gone to bed in a mood. Him and Ron have fallen out. For the night, he wakes up to see Ron on the floor, still looking at him cross, but using a chamber pot.
It's Harry Potter and the Chamber Pot of Secrets. Don't look in there, Ginny.
Oh.
It's dirty.
Hey, do you want to see my...
Hey?
This is my demo. This is the moustache I was considering using to be a Geppetto.
Hey, that's fantastic.
Didn't use it in the end. In the end, I glued... I put PVA glue all over my face and just put cotton wool on it.
Hey, that's better. Cut out the middleman, eh? Very good. That was Hedwig's Droppings. This has been the Pottervision podcast. Thank you so much for listening. And people might be interested to know that this episode marks the end of this refill pad. Hey. So next time...
Oh, would anyone want that? Maybe you could give that away.
Yeah, maybe. If anyone wants my refill pad, they can ask. And I can give you Pottervision notes in the post. Message me privately and directly for all the details. If anyone wants to support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/Pottervision, there's loads of bloody goodies. There's over 50 bonus episodes of the show. At the moment, we're looking at Tom Felton's memoirs and discussing them in a 2-parter. There's also things like keyrings, stickers, posters. Our live show is on there. Our 8-part tour diary from February is on there. Yeah, there's loads of good footage on there. There's our trip to the Forbidden Forest experience last year. There's all sorts of goodies on there. And you can get most of them for £4.50. It's all worth it, I think. But next time we will be on episode 113, chapter 18 of book 5, Dumbledore's Army. You have been a Puritan hat-wearing Tom Lawrenson.
And you have been a German cramming Lukas Kirkby.
Goodbye.
Why'd you do the YMCA?
Dunno.
Pottervision.
Thank you for listening to the Pottervision podcast. The music was performed by Jack Evans. If you'd like bonus content and to support the show, you can visit patreon.com/Pottervision.